All right, guys, welcome back to our Splice mini course. This is part 3 of the 3-part course. So if you aren't familiar with Splice, Splice is a very cool website that allows you to upload your projects, which allows others to collaborate with you from any location around the world, anyone that's got an internet connection. And it will save all the different versions of your songs as you continue working on them. You can use Splice to share songs with specific people, or you can make it public. And you can also just load your songs up there and you've got all the storage you need for your songs kind of as a backup. So Splice works really well with that feature as well. So highly recommend it. And now let's get to our lesson. So what we're going to learn here is just basic song templates, how to set up certain things so that you automatically get settings the way you like it in your song. So what you'll notice here is I just opened up a brand new song, and by default it sets me up with 2 MIDI parts and 2 audio parts. But you could completely shift this. You can have a bunch of MIDI parts set up with your drum kits and bass sounds and whatever instruments that you would want to use, along with the effects and everything like that. If you did want to approach something like that, let's say you've set up, we'll get a drum rack in track 1 and we'll throw an operator here in track 2. And track 3, we'll set up a sampler and so forth, right? So if we wanted to save this setup, all we'd have to do is come over to our preferences and we go to our file folder setting here, and then as you can see here, save current set as default. So this right here would always open from now on when you open a brand new song. So that is how you do that, which I highly recommend that you set something up that you're comfortable with. The next thing that I like to do, if I open up a new audio track, you'll notice that I've already got effects all ready to go on my audio track, and I use the same effects on my MIDI tracks as well, because these are things that I use most commonly: EQs, reverbs, panning, stereo effect, and delay, and then a utility. So this is very easy to do as well. You just would drag in your effects here, the ones that you think that you would use most, and I would recommend probably setting yourself up with an EQ, a compressor, maybe a delay. And then what I like to do is turn these off so they're not using up CPU. If you don't end up using them in your song, you just turn on the ones you need and they're all ready to go for you. And then all you'd have to do is just right click and save this audio track as default. And then from then on, every time you open up a track, you'll have your effects all ready to go. And you could also do this for individual effects. So I don't think I have it for this, but if I wanted to, for example, I told you the feature of having around 120 hertz and below rolled off on most tracks. So I can make this my default if I want. And then it'll double check if that's what I want. And then in the future, anytime I drag in that EQ, it will already have this set up ready to go for me, because this is the most common way that I would use this. You know, you could of course always change it later. And you can do that with compression or delay settings or anything you want. If you've got several settings, make sure, like I do, I've got a preset that I created instead of a default. So I can just open that up, and I have presets here for different things. I put 000 in front of my presets so they all rise to the top. So I'm not constantly searching for other presets. I've got the ones that I've created all ready to go. That's also the same with saturator here. I've got this setting that I like for my delay. I've got a certain preset that I like that sits at the top, and so forth. So if you take a little bit of time to set up some of your default settings, things can move much more quickly in your songwriting workflow. So I hope this helps. And once again, feel free to download my song template from Splice and go ahead and do whatever you want with it. You can write songs with it. You could reverse engineer the way I've set up certain sounds or whatever you want to do. So if you want more information on what I do, make sure to find me on musicsoftwaretraining.com and definitely check out Splice. It's a very cool website that once you start using, you will easily be addicted to its features.